YouTube, welcome back to the channel, man. And in today's video, we are going to be breaking down the simplest, the most easy haircutting system to follow. And this haircutting system that I teach, guys, it can be applied to every single type of haircut, every single type of hair texture, wavy hair, curly hair, straight hair, high fades, low fades, tapers, whatever you want to get done. This is the system that you're going to be able to follow, guys. And this is my client Chris here, man. We're going to be going ahead and giving him a nice mid-low fade. It's going to have a little bit of a drop. It's going to complement the shape of his head, and this will just make sure that the hair grows out nice. You don't only want the haircut to look good today, but you want it to look good a week from now. And also, we're going to be using the Tomb 45 clipper and trimmer set. Actually, there's a huge sale for Black Friday, so make sure that you check the links down below in the description. I'm going to have the link so that way you can get this set of wireless charging clippers and trimmers that do not get hot at all at a really good discounted rate. I'll have the best deal linked down below in the description below. So we're going to be starting here, guys, with the number 1.5 guard, and I'm going to be starting here cutting the hair down with the grain. Now, the length that you cut the top hair totally depends on the consultation and what your client's goals are. You know, my client does like here to leave a nice dark top with full waves, so I'm using the 1.5 guard with the lever all the way open, especially to start off, so I can make sure I start catching his wave pattern and help all the hair, help the curls come together and connect in their waves. But yeah, you know, if your clients are going to want super deep waves, you know, and they've been training, maybe they're going to want to go with a 2 or a 3 level. If they like a really tight cut, maybe they want to go all the way down to the 1, you know, but it's totally up to you and your client. Just make sure that you do a thorough consultation so you fully understand what their goals are, and you know, you want to make sure that you can deliver on that, right? I think that's one of the biggest things that keeps my clientele coming back to me, is the fact that their previous barbers would just not do consultations and jump straight into the cut, not really asking for details, you know. So that's one thing, a very small thing that you can do to stand aside from other barbers and really impress your clients, you know what I mean? Keep them coming back. So now that the top is already trimmed down, we're going to be switching over to the clipper with no guard at all, lever closed. And we're going to be setting in our bald guideline with this clipper, just like this right here, clipper closed, no guard. A lot of people are going to tell you that you need to set your bald line with a trimmer, and it's not that that's wrong information, it's not that it's bad, but the truth is that the clipper all the way closed is going to give you a much easier line to fade out. If I go in here and I go ahead and punch in this line with the trimmer, that's the same machine that I used to put in a really harsh, like, front edge up line, right? The lineups are crispy. I don't really need my guidelines to be crispy. It's just going to be more challenging for me to fade it out at the end. Now, it sounds a little different, but trust me, if having trouble fading out that very bottom line, I truly believe it'll benefit you so much just to try it. Try going with the clipper all the way closed for your first guideline. It's going to save you time, it's going to save you a headache, and you could still put a nice guideline in. Now we're going to go with the half guard all the way closed. Okay, so the next step, typically some barbers are going to tell you, take the guard off and open up the lever all the way. And again, that's not bad information, but the half guard all the way closed, in my personal opinion and experience, it is a much softer guideline for you to take out. What we're going to be doing here is we're setting a primary guideline and we're setting a secondary guideline. And then we're going to start fading our way down to slowly but surely erase these lines. So by the time that we're coming from the top down and we're going to start fading away, this guideline that we're setting in here with the half guard all the way closed, it's much easier to fade from plastic to plastic than it is to fade from plastic to metal. And you'll see what I'm talking about here shortly. We're going to jump into the 1.5 guard now. You can see I have my lever wide open, the 1.5 lever starting with pressure at the very bottom of the fade, and I am floating my way up and off the head. You can see I'm not letting this guard like go up into the round of his head. I'm not trying to cut into his wavelength at the very top. What I'm simply doing is I'm creating a slope shape, right? I'm letting the shape of his head dictate where I put my clipper guard. I'm using the shape of his head as a ramp to rock that clipper up and off his head. It's going to remove bulk, it's going to remove darkness, and create shape. Once you've done that, you can take that same 1.5 guard with the lever closed, you can see here, and just work a little bit lower than where you just were. Obviously now in this case it's a with the grain haircut, it's got waves, so you know there's going to be some moments where you'll see me cut against the grain and cut with the grain. You know, that's just to make sure that you're catching all the hair and everything staying in place. But the principle still stands, that after you go with the clipper open, you can go just below that with the clipper closed. Same guard, 1.5 guard closed. And what this is going to do is it's going to, and again, I apologize if it's a little bit out of focus right now, but I think it's important that you guys see this step, how it comes together. Going with that 1.5 guard closed just a little bit, incrementally lower than where you were with the 1.5 guard all the way open, starts to work on that transition. Now, if you're not comfortable, you know, doing this step, if you think it's too advanced, you certainly can go in with the 4 guard, with the 3 guard, with the 2 guard, you know, little by little chipping away at it, fading down. I just want to show you there's a more efficient way to do it. And you don't have to skip all those steps and go through all those steps. You can skip them if you have the right hand motion, which is why we're going to return now to the half guard. You remember how we set that first guideline in with the half guard? So now we're going to set it instead with the half guard closed. Now we're going to go open, and I'm going to repeat the same motion that I did with this 1.5 guard. Okay. Just pressure at the bottom, float my way up and off the head. I'm not going to be using the 1 guard. I'm not using the 2, the 3, the 4. It's very, very simple, this haircutting system. Can you already start to see how with the half guard wide open and a nice soft touch, I'm able to blend my way up into the darkness and maintain the shape, just work on that gradient, really slowly chipping away at it? Man, I'll tell you guys, this is a haircutting system that's, it's universal. You know, parents at home can maintain their kids' haircuts doing these steps. Barbers in the barbershop can maintain, you know, sanity and not freak out and be afraid when you have people sit in your chair like, what steps am I going to do next? How do I fade this line out? I follow the same exact haircutting system for every single blend that goes down to skin. You know, whether it's straight hair, whether it's wavy hair, whether it's curly hair. Please leave a comment down below if this is something that is like peaceful. It brings peace to you to think like, man, like I have a system that I could follow and it's universal. It applies to all styles. But yeah, man, we're just gonna keep on chipping away at this. There's a little bit of detailing involved here, right? I'm not gonna move on from this half guard open until everything is blurred out, you know, and then after I chip away with everything open, now I could start to play with the lever a little bit. You know, I can go lever halfway, I can go lever closed, I can go lever open. I'm just taking my time and slowly chipping away at any small areas of demarcation that I may see here. So let's watch the rest of this detailing come together. By the way, guys, the feedback that I've been getting on the channel has been really helpful, really constructive. It sounds like a lot of you guys have actually enjoyed the more natural pace of these haircut tutorials, you know, not fast forwarding too much, not skipping too much, you know, just really letting you guys watch how the haircut comes together. So I think I'm gonna rock with that for a little bit longer length videos. We could take our time through the tutorial, not really rush it, so you can truly watch and absorb how these different steps come together. So thank you guys for the feedback you guys have been giving me in the channel. You know, like I said, I make these videos and put out this information for you guys to be able to advance your barber careers, or maybe even start your barber careers. Maybe it's not even for a barber, maybe it's literally a dad. For example, my last video that I dropped, there was a dad that was telling me how my videos helped him execute a haircut on his son. You know, it was the first time he ever cut his hair, and he felt like it looked like a professional job being done. You know, it's not, obviously, you know, barbers would love to cut that kid's hair, but the truth is the way that the economy is right now, you know, there's a lot of people in tough situations, and you gotta make ends meet. And if that means that my videos can help barbers advance their career, but at the same time help the parents, man, like, you know, I think it's definitely something that is helpful. So hopefully by now, guys, you can see the lines of demarcation that we've put in so far are starting to disappear, and all we have left now is that bottom bald line. Here's how we're gonna take it out. I'm gonna take the clipper closed, Start there, then go one notch open, and then go another notch open, and then go another notch open, and then go another notch open. Now let's watch it happen in real time here, guys. With the clipper all the way closed, I'm going to be breaking through that very bottom line that we put in at the beginning of the haircut. You'll see here how easily this is going to fade out, because it's going to be easier fading out from the clipper closed to the clipper closed. Now I'm going to push the line up a little bit higher, and now I've got my first notch here, and I'm going to go a little higher. Now at this point, guys, you're going to feel some anxiety, like, man, I'm going to be pushing this fade way too high. But the truth is, notice here, notch goes longer, fade gets higher. Okay, so it's true, you are going to be going higher, but you don't have to worry about going too high, because if you follow this system step by step, the higher that you get in the fade, the longer that the hair is going to be. Check this out. I'm going to hit the notch again right here, all the way open, and now I'm fading my way up into that area that we started there with the half. You know what I mean? So, and of course, you're going to have time to detail too, but just be mindful, guys. Like, yes, you are going to go higher in the fade, but you don't have to feel the anxiety that I felt for years and years, because you will learn the higher that you get, the longer the lever will allow you to cut the hair, and the softer touch that you can do, the better off you'll be. You know what I mean? So let's go ahead and watch this come together, and we'll be able to come back and do a little bit of extra detailing if we need to. But y'all can see it's starting to connect, and it's not even like it took a super extreme amount of effort. I don't think it takes 10 years of experience to learn how to blend these different levels together. I really feel like I teach it in a pretty simple way. Leave a comment down below. Let me know your feedback. But I'm a super fan of the system, man. I'm gonna keep pushing this thing, man. It really helps. Man, I even thought about this. What do you guys think about this, man? Like doing an in-person class here, like at the Tomb 45 barbershop. You know what I mean? Like if we can schedule something out, and for those of you guys who want to do more one-on-one work, or like, you know, small group work, bring a model, do a haircut. You know what I mean? I think that could be something that we could do. I don't have anything official, you know, in the books or anything, but you know, from just based off the feedback that we've been getting in the comment section down below, you know, I think that may be something I'm going to start looking into. Let me know if that's something you guys will be open to, if that's something that you would like to get into. Or do you guys like the more online course route? I don't know. I'm still trying to figure this all out. I'm just working on being consistent and you know, just teaching systems that change lives, man. So there we go. We're going to keep on watching this thing come together. Let's rock through it. Like I was mentioning in the beginning of the video, and obviously depending on when you're going to be watching this video, you know, obviously the prices may be a little bit different, but I know during the time of the release of this video and the week that follows, there's a 30% sale on all of the clippers that come from the Tomb 45 Babyliss collaboration. You know, a lot of people have been concerned about how expensive clippers have been getting, so this is a really great opportunity to get the machine, man, that you want. Because look, these clippers, they're really dope, man. They have complete wireless charging. That's an option for them. You can get the power pods if you prefer to have a dock, so there's more than one way to charge them. And the biggest thing for me, guys, is that they don't get hot. Like, I've used so many clippers over the years that have gotten so hot. You know, you'll be fading with them, and 20 minutes in, now all of a sudden the blade's too hot, and now you got to switch your clipper. I use one clipper, one trimmer, one shaver all day, man. Like, you know, it's a very efficient way to cut hair, the system that I'm teaching, but the tools that I use also help me be efficient. It's kind of a cheat code, you know, especially let's say if you're learning, if you're a parent cutting your kids' hair at home, or if you're a young barber just starting in school, and you know, you still find yourself taking an hour to get through basic haircuts. You need a machine that's gonna allow you to even cut hair for an hour period, you know what I mean, without burning up your client. Because the worst thing that happens is you're fading, You know, I remember these days, you know, in the Endless Masters days, that the blade would get so hot, now the skin's all red, now I can't even see the fade. Like the red skin is completely concealing all of the transition for the fade. And it's like, all right, well, I hope that fade looks good enough. Let me move on to a part of the head that's not red. You know, so they're real cool, man. Honestly, they are. And at that heavy level of a discount, like I said, those links are going to be in the description down below, straight from Amazon, so that way they could quickly ship to your house. But yeah, man, you know, that's definitely something that helps a lot. And by the way, too, there's two more things I wanted to address about the machines. I leave these, the videos that you're looking at right now, I leave it 100% how it is set out of the box. I don't adjust my blades to cut closer. I don't adjust my trimmers to cut sharper. I want to give you guys the raw experience straight out of the box. And then the other thing I wanted to address is, somebody asked me in my last video if, you know, are they beginner friendly clippers? These are 100% professional clippers, but from my experience also, right, I learned on the Walmart clipper and the Color Pro and the silver, whatever the silver Walmart Pro clipper is. It's very frustrating cutting with those machines. It's frustrating because the blades get hot. It's frustrating because the blades don't cut precisely. So that's another thing that can take you so much longer to cut hair and really learn how to cut. Now, you know, originally years ago I would have told you, just, you know, go get the cheap clipper, make it happen. You want to have a quality tool is truly my belief now. Just because of that, man, like, it's very frustrating. Anybody who's cut with both pro level clippers and Walmart level clippers can tell you the difference. Like, it'll take so many strokes with the same clipper guard on just to get the hair cut even, because it's not going to cut every hair. These machines is going to even it out in one swipe. You know what I mean? So I recommend them for everybody. I definitely recommend them for everybody. I would so much rather you spend a couple $100s on a set of clippers and trimmers and you be set, you're good, you can use those for 10 years, rather than have to keep buying the $40 clippers over and over and over again. Now we're going to get into the trimmer work, guys. And again, like I said, these are set completely out the box. This is what the lines are going to look like the moment that you open your Zoom 45 trimmer box. Okay, we're going to start this lineup in the middle of the hairline, and then you're going to pick one side to attack, and then you're going to flip and attack the other side. The problem that I used to run into a lot with the lineups is I used to pick one corner and then work my way all the way across the forehead to go to the other corner. That's a long line. It's a very long job that you have to keep balanced and straight in one shot. I'm not a fan of doing that. What I'm much more of a fan of is I'd rather break one long job into two easier jobs. So that's why I hit my line in the middle, and then I will choose to work my way into one corner. Go ahead, take care of that corner, line it up, hit the C-cup if you want, get half the head looking nice and sharp. And then at that point, then you can step back and see, okay, how does that right corner of his head look, and what can I do to the left corner now to make it match? Cool. So then you return to the middle, and then you go and attack the opposite corner. And then doing this, guys, you can make adjustments as you go by, little by little, you know, slowly tweaking the hair. Make sure that you continue to comb this hair out too. If it's really coiled up and the hair's really not wanting to break loose, you can hit it with a hot towel and let some of those loose hairs come down, so that way there's no surprises after he shampoos, you know. But just take your time, guys, and break up the lineup into two simple jobs. Your first step is hit the middle, then you attack the left side, then you attack the right side, and then you make adjustments accordingly. So let's watch this come together, guys. We're gonna go ahead and hit the C-cup too. I think you guys are gonna like how these lines come out, man. You know, like I said, straight out the box. You always have the option to zero gap them, of course. You always have the option, even like Beam, for example, he does a service where he sharpens and zero gaps the blade for you. I'm excited to try them, and I'll give you guys feedback on them when I do have him do my blades. But you know, the trimmers 100% are good enough out of the box for you not to need to worry about that. Like, oh, how easy are they to adjust? How easy is it to sharpen a blade? You know what I mean? while we're going through the rest of this lineup and just this part of the haircut, man, I just want to take a moment and say how thankful I am to all of you guys for supporting the channel, for giving me feedback on the channel, for watching and learning, and, you know, just overall supporting. You know, I did not get into this because I wanted a bunch of followers or a bunch of views. Like, I genuinely just wanted to help people learn how to cut hair and skip through all the hard parts. Like, I finally figured it out. Let me help you also figure it out. I had plenty of people to do that for me, so I'm trying to pass it on, you know? So that's the passion behind a project like this. Like, you're not gonna get into barbering and make 150K if that's your only goal. Like, I'm only getting into barbering because I want to make money. No, you have to have a passion behind it, because there's a lot of challenges that come with it, man. But I'm here to support you guys through it. Let me know anything I can help you with. Leave it in the comments below. Back to the tutorial. So now we're pretty much at the end of the lineup, and do you remember how at the beginning of this haircut we started with the clipper all the way closed to start that first bald line, right? Look at how smoothly and how effortlessly this trimmer is gonna mow away the rest of the bulk that we left at the very bottom. Like I said, the reason that I have you start the fade with the clipper closed is because I do remember when I used to set that line and that bottom bald line really sharp with the trimmer, it would mess up my whole fade. All the effort that I would have to go back and do again to try to fade out that super harsh bald line completely messed up my fade. And that's where I would go and mess up and mess with the gradients and accidentally take the fade too high because I was doing too much. When I realized that starting with the clipper closed visually gives you a bald line that you could work with, and at the end we can bald this out with the trimmer now super softly, and we can make it as bald as we want. We could go trimmer only. If you know, let's say your client has sensitive skin, you can go trimmer with the foil shaver as well, or a razor blade. I have clients that do all three of those, depending on their needs, depending on, you know, how their skin will react to such treatment. But look at this, guys. We are going straight up with these trimmers, man, straight up into that. There's no effort and there's no line left behind. I think this is a huge difference, man. It's a game changer for the fading system. I want to know your feedback on this, man. How many of you guys have gotten to the very end of the fade, and when it got down to it and fading out that very bottom line, how many times would you mess up or just feel extra anxiety? Like, man, why can I not get that bottom line out? It's super frustrating, man. But this haircutting system completely eliminates that anxiety. And I think you can see from the results. Look at how this fade is looking. Look at how this fade is sitting on his head. I think you can tell from the results why, you know, we do this and why I teach it this way. Like I said, a little bit of detailing, comb the hair out. You're going to see a couple of flyaways here and there. Catch those hairs. You don't want your client to find that after he goes home and shampoos his hair out, you know. Even everything out, catch all the flyaways. These are the details that are going to keep your clients happy and keep them coming back to you. And that even includes this next step right here, where, you know, after you're done, the hair is cut with the grain. There's always going to be some flyaway hairs, so make sure you take the time to clip that. Another strategy, guys, too, is make sure that your client is facing the mirror while you're doing all these extra little details. Like, he could see his haircut's already sharp, he's already happy with it, but as he looks in the mirror, he's like, damn, my barber is really taking that extra time, that extra moment to make sure that I don't have a single hair out of place. You know, he could see all this. You know, he could see that I'm taking my hand and freehanding all of this, freehanding all the flyaway hairs. You know, it's small value adds like this, guys, that are gonna help you stand out as a barber. And it's really helped my career, man. And, you know, I'm at a point now where my average ticket is like 60 bucks, 65 bucks whenever someone sits. I don't charge that money. That's just how much they tip, you know, and I'm able to knock out, you know, 50, 60, 65, 70 heads a week consistently, you know, because of this level of service, guys. This is the finished product, man. If you guys want help building your business up to where I have mine now, you know, me coaching you through how I was able to get it there, let me know. The link's in the description for the mentorship, fam. And don't forget about those Black Friday deals. I will see you guys in the next video.